The founder series is me and hopefully other founders just sharing the answers to 3 questions. What was difficult? What was good? And what did we learn from the previous week? And hopefully this helps somebody else.
I was thinking about being a founder, and I mean, I talk to people all the time, and typically people, when they talk about being a founder, they talk about being a founder of a tech business, but actually anyone who starts a business is a founder.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I mean, it's not, people think that running I say people, I mean very general, but everyone thinks running your own business is better than being employed in a job because you have freedom, flexibility, etc. But if you're sick, you still got to work.
Yeah.
Unless you've built the business to a point that you've got systems, processes, people, etc. And this whole agent version of AI is going to be so interesting because you can, to a large extent, do it with AI. Not great, it's not going to be as tailored, but I'm using this fixer tool at the moment, which we'll go through tomorrow. And any email I get right now, it replies to. It's got a draft. All I have to do is read the draft. It's ridiculous. Like, because I was looking at my email on my phone going, why are all my emails going? And then I went and looked at my draft folder and had all these drafts of all these replies to all these emails. And it's literally 2 options, like a pro or negative option. And, when you think about customer support, and I think I put a video in our group about this, doing the basic stuff using AI will free you up to do more depth stuff with the customer. I think that's really good. Although the knowledge value that you would have kind of gets replaced because the AI can learn all that stuff. And in 10 years' time, it'll probably be more sophisticated than we are, which is a really scary premise, at least for the most part. I mean, I don't know who... I don't know how many jobs would really be safe. Well, what was hard this week is I'm struggling with keeping up with all this AI stuff. I mean, when I was doing it 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was moving so slowly. You could read an article once a week or read a book once a week. Now, every day there's something new, and every day there's something new to play with, and someone's built a new tool, and it's overwhelming. And, unfortunately, we're sort of caught in the dichotomy of 2 worlds. The one world where you still deliver what you said you deliver using the old-fashioned way, and where you know you need to be focusing to be on par or get ahead of everybody else. So I think there's a lot of anxiety around that, and I think that's what's hard. So interestingly enough, on this whole path of AI reducing the mundane, I decided to break the rut of talking to the same people and speak to people outside of my normal realm. And that's led to opportunities, which is great. And it just shows you that sometimes just taking that little step out of your normal comfort zone leads to things, and you create new relationships, and, sometimes they move quickly. So I'm quite excited about that. So that's what was good. I did have a profound thing that I thought of yesterday that I needed to write down and to share today, and I can't think what it was now. Maybe the lesson is to write things down. Oh, actually, well, not the thing I had in mind, but I had a conversation with one of our previous guests, Richard Blank. He was on our podcast again yesterday. He made a comment about going for a walk in nature without any technology, so breaking out, disconnecting, etc., and using that time to prioritize. So this morning when I went for my walk, normally I listen to something or I'm watching a TV series, and I like to rewatch stuff, and I'm quite enjoying the Next Generation, Star Trek Next Generation, because the episode I'm watching right now is equivalent to data. Well, data behaving is equivalent to ChatGPT, to what we're used to right now. It's kind of the same thing. It's quite funny how that's worked out. But anyway, so instead of listening to something, I just walked for like 25 minutes without anything. And he was right, because you sit there and you actually start to go through stuff in your head, because you're looking at nature, looking at trees, there's horses, got a beautiful, beautiful route to walk. And you start to prioritize things in your head, or you start talking out. I mean, I talk out loud because there's no one else around. And normally I'd record it, but actually today I just talked, and it was actually quite fun to sort of process a few things. So it's something I recommend.
Yeah. As students have started doing it big time, like we'll work for like hours and we'll go, oh my God, we need to go touch some grass. We need to just not have it's like staring at the screen. So we'll like go for a walk around. Luckily, I live in the heart of Brighton, so there's plenty of spaces to go run around and just not have our phones, and we'll leave everything at home. And then before we know it, we're sat on the ground just talking about what the work we're doing, and it's more freeing to not have the screen in front of you, and you go back with such a clearer head to get more work done. But it's nice to have that little environment break and just, I guess, enjoy the weather.
It's so funny you say that, because I mean, I went to University of Johannesburg, or RAU in those days, Rand Afrikaans University. And the way the university is built, and there's all these conspiracy theories about how RAU was a military base that was, you know, secretly turned into a university, but actually the way it's designed, you could protect it. And you know, there's some truth to these things, because it was built during a rough time in the country's history. And there's underground tunnels and all sorts of stuff. If anyone goes and looks it up, they'll find it. But anyway, so the way our university was built is you got a big food court. And then it basically, the block of the buildings goes down and around in a big circle all the way to the library, and it's huge. I mean, it's a massive piece of property. And then in the middle of that is this beautiful green grass, well, obviously green grass, but it's this green quad where everyone sits. And then you can kind of cross down to the library, so you can go spend your time in the library or go to lectures, but then everyone conglomerates in the green. And you know, some of our best conversations, in fact, I met my wife there before we got, like 2 years or 3 years before we actually started dating, because you are in that space and you do turn into study groups and all the rest of it. And I think that was, you know, if I had to study now, because so when I studied, I did 5 years and then I took a break and I came back, and I didn't have the time when I came back because I was still working and studying. But I when I chat to people studying now, like yourself, who are not at the university every day, it's much the same as not being in the office every day. I think you miss some stuff.
Yeah. It's weird, because definitely when I lived on campus, first year, I was in pretty much 4 days a week, quite long hours, like I was in school again. And then slowly and slowly and slowly, as my degree has progressed, as I'm in my final year, I'm in for 1 day a week, and everything else is self-learning because I'm in dissertation season. So it's kind of like, it starts off that you're so productive and you're in the office every day essentially, and then all of a sudden you've been left to your own devices, and you're like, how has it come so quickly that I'm being let to do what I want? How is this possible?
Well, I always think the biggest thing you learn about going to university is how to self-manage.
Yeah.